Oh, that's what I call a good woman. Hang on to that one, lad. The miller's daughter saved you from the footpads? Well, there's a tale to tell your children. Be quiet, friar. I didn't invite you here to eat me out of house and home and deliver a sermon while you were doing it. And one skeleton looks much like another, so how would we know which were your ordained bones or those of Sigismund's Tartars? If there's anything left to bury, that plump carcass of yours would be quite a feast for the wolves and the crows. They almost killed him and he already wants to go back. Aye. The woman had to save his fat from the fire, and now he wants revenge. What kind of fool are you, boy? Why not? Someone made a priest of a pig. Oh, there you go. When you have to, Radzig. Oh, fortune has finally smiled on you today, lad. Make the most of it. That's true. The bailiff is always complaining about your people making trouble in the camp. Maybe one of their own among the guard might help. Captain Bernard, see to his training, and then send him to the bailiff. But let's be clear, you're the one paying him.
How many men?
So soon? How is it that we knew nothing about this before?
A sneaky weasel.
Well, that depends on whether you can hold out. We don't even know how many there are. I'll give the orders to my men. Here's their leader. Now the pup shows his teeth. Any word about your boy, Radzig? Let's hope he hasn't done anything rash. Wouldn't surprise me, given the balls that he has. Now, I wonder where he might have got those from. I told you he had balls. Well, then, lock him up. Let's make an example of him. Put anyone else off the idea of banditry. I'll tell the executioner. Well, how does the law work these days? Not very well from what I've seen. And I'm not wasting food on criminals while we try to find someone to try them. Besides, it'll be good to show the common folk that we're taking action. Well, Divish. I see you don't want to miss the show. Not quite what we hoped for. Radzig wanted to go parley with them in person. Fortunately, I talked him out of it. Bloody good thing, too. Finally, we'll have some proper entertainment in the countryside. Tell us what you saw, lad. Those bastards won't know which way to turn. We'll wipe those whore sons off the face of the earth. They may be hiding behind a stockade, but they are still a pack of curs who are no match for men like you. And tonight, we are going to festoon these trees with corpses. First, we will set fire to their little hornet's nest. Then we'll keep them busy by the gate, and when we've made it nice and hot for them, Sir Rilbard and his men will pounce on them from the rear, and we will hack them to pieces. Have you got it? Listen up now. We are about to meet the rabble that have been trying to hurt us, pillaging, killing, raping, and generally being a thorn in our side for long enough. Glad to hear it. Now, let's do it. Forward! Any of these fuckers foolish enough to stick his head outside the stockade is to lose it at once. Understood? Good. Now, when we reach the ramparts, the archers will cover the men climbing it and the men with the battering ram. Your Graces, I have to tell you in all seriousness that this land of ours is in the shit. Deep fucking shit. Don't you agree? Indeed. But Pirkstein is yours for as long as you need it. There's room enough for your men and you here at Rattay, and I'm sure my ward won't have any objection to me lending you his castle. Well, they'll have to get used to it until the situation's resolved. Who could blame him? I know Wenceslas is a friend of yours, Radzig, but even you have to admit he brought it upon himself. Money is the root of all evil, young sir. Wars are costly, and this one has dragged on for a year. Sigismund ran out of coin for knights, so he recruited those whore sons that settled in Hungary. The less he pays, the more they make up for it with plunder. Hungarian order. And don't spare him. There are still many things that need doing, but I just don't have the time for them. As well as can be expected under the circumstances. Robard will brief you. That'll be all. Crucifix! What in the name of Christ is happening here? By rolling around in the mud like a hog? That's a fine example of noble conduct. Well, answer me, damn you. Oh, hunting. Well then, Your Grace, I'll tell you what. You can go hunting. Tomorrow, you will go with me to a hearing. Some landowners have asked me to settle a dispute. It'll be an excellent lesson for you. Oh, naturally. Who am I to deprive the young Lord Capon of his sport? And you can take Henry here as your page. And you, Hans, how many times have I told you that drinking with your subjects might be good for their morale, but it's bad for your honor? Silence! You shut your mouth and thank your lucky stars that you are Radzig's ward. Have you gone out of your mind? Raising your hand to a nobleman? You spend all your days drinking and chasing wenches, which wouldn't matter if you paid any attention at all to your duties. And now we see what that leads to. You'll do as I've commanded. It's time you learned how to lead people, and not just in drinking and brawling. Now get out of my sight. Not anymore. Your responsibilities now are to Lord Capon. It's time you learned how to behave in the presence of nobility. Let's go. Tell the kitchen I'm hungry. It's been a long journey. Henry, where's Toth? You said he was here. We have to find out where he slithered off to. Look for clues. Anything that will tell us what he's doing. Where's that Hungarian bastard? Why isn't he here? Don't tell me no one was in command. What does it say, Radzig? A letter? Yes, well, here in the countryside, we don't give a tinker's curse about such things. That's what I've got a scribe for, anyway. What does the damn thing say? What castle? What does he need a castle for? Where's that rat Toth? Where did he go? Speak, damn you! I believe we have some work to do, Sir Divish, do we not? What? Were you planning on sending him to some monastery to become a monk? Mount up, gentlemen. We don't have any time to waste. How is it possible, Radzig? Those bastards make so bold no more than a mile from the castle. We'll have to send out more patrols. Well, let's celebrate your promotion and Sir Hans's recovery. Well, don't just stand there, lad. Pour us a drink. I don't know how to thank you, Henry. If it wasn't for you, Hans would be dead. And to think I sent you out with him as a punishment. Who did this? Who were they? What now? Kurva! Take as many men as you need, and don't stop until you've found those bastards. And bring me their heads! Thank you, friend. He's full of piss and vinegar, isn't he? Good. Wait in the courtyard for Henry. And his reward for saving Sir Hans. He'll need it. How soon can you leave, Bernard? Give him a horse. What has happened? Greetings, lad. On the contrary, Master Tobias, unlike Bernard, you are the bearer of good tidings. Or so I gather from the coin you carry. Tell me, how many groschen did we find in Pribyslavitz? What? I don't give a what you call them. I want to know what they're facking worth. Are you saying what I think you're saying, Master Tobias? This here... Kurva! Fuck! Kurva! Fuck! Dopredel! Well, go! I want these culprits in the hands of the executioner as soon as possible. And it would be a shame to destroy the castle, too. But how do we get that rat out of there? You're your father's son, by God. So be it. I'll do my utmost. Well, Divish, I think the time has come to find out just how much Toth values our hostage. Do you want to parley with him yourself? Bring the hostage below the battlements. A little. But we've settled in nicely. And this fellow is enjoying our company so much, we simply can't get rid of him. It seems we are in similar situations. Perhaps it's time to send our respective guests home. It seems your lord doesn't place any great value in you, boy. I'm sorry. It looks like it's not going to be that easy. He won't harm them as long as we have this fellow. Nobly spoken, your grace. But for all I know, you may have done that already. Toth won't agree to an exchange, and even if he did, we'd have to let him go. With all his men, he'd be a thorn in our sides till Judgment Day. Well, let me point out that we have no choice anyway. We don't have enough supplies to keep men here for weeks, while gangs of brigands and Sigismund's army roam the countryside. What is it? Jobst, you say? All right. Nevertheless, it seems the decision is made for us. We don't want Jobst camping with us in front of our own castle like a band of gypsies. Now, he's changed sides, appointed himself the leader of the rebellion against Sigismund, and wants to liberate Wenceslas. Only a year ago he was collaborating with Sigismund in the League of Lords. He betrayed King Wenceslas and his ally Prokop. Let's see if Istvan Toth can worm his way out of this one. Istvan! It's over! You want us to come and get you? And Sir Radzig? Are both hostages unharmed? I imagine you feel the same way. It's been a long time since you warmed yourself at your own hearth. Well, I'm glad to hear it. My guest is also safe and sound, but he's also quite keen to go home. Your freedom! Sir, we're all noblemen here, all bound by honor. I give you my word as a knight and lord, and that of my companions. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed. If you give me your word of honor that you will leave and never return, I promise you safe passage to the boundary of this fiefdom. What happens after that is up to you and the will of God Almighty. Out of the question! Is our word not good enough for you? If you're certain, Radzig, you heard him. Get to work. And any man who breaks his truce answers to me. Our honor. If we break our word of honor, we have none. And without honor, we are nothing. Never fear. Your father will be all right. Bring the horses. We won't. Certainly more than yours. It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too. Come join us. Margrave Yobbs was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace, how did the king let it go so far, damn it? The question is, which king? People like him, though. Well, my ward and his, what shall we say, chaperone. Henry's as big a fool as you are. But he's not my ward, thank Christ. Like boozing and whoring, for instance. I hope we haven't dragged you away from anything too important. Perhaps you were busy, causing mayhem in the middle of the night and beating up my subjects. So I had to sit gaping like a stuffed owl and listen to his grievances. Of course not. That would demean me. And you too. I had the bailiff here complaining, and could I tell him what I really think about this whole sorry affair? And then they look at you, Hans, their lord and master, and see you drunken layabout. That fellow you beat up last night was a guard, a new guard on the town watch. And he couldn't report for duty this morning because of his injuries. What the hell do the pair of you think you're doing? There are people in this fiefdom who work from dawn to dusk to put food on their tables, and on yours. May I remind you, maybe you think because you're the lord here you can get away with anything. But you're sadly mistaken, you blockhead. A lord remains a lord only as long as he commands the loyalty of his subjects. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you the folk here are not exactly enchanted at the prospect of having you in charge. Oh, don't exaggerate. Well, I'm hardly surprised after you molested his girl and humiliated him. For all I care, she can dress you up like a wench and marry you off to some Hungarian. That was the last straw, Capon. One more of your escapades and I'll send you to your mother in Polnar. Sir Milota of Oleshna has turned up here. Do you know him? I have a job for you. Maybe that will keep you out of mischief. Oh, don't whine, for heaven's sake. It's about time you started taking some responsibility. He is. He came here with the remnants of his retinue to seek refuge. He's seriously wounded. I just wish they'd found somewhere else to thrash out their differences. Unfortunately, the skirmish didn't end well for Milota. The important thing is to get that damn scavenger out of the domain. If possible, without bloodshed. I can't afford to lose any men over this business. Have I made myself clear? Go and see Bernard in the courtyard. He got a report that Wolfland pillaged some other farms around Neuhof, and he's putting a squad together to ride against him. Mind your step, though. It's a family affair, after all. Maybe more to it than meets the eye. His fortress Oleshna was attacked by one Wolfran of Camburg. Milota pursued him almost as far as Neuhof and engaged with him. Get to work, then. He's kin to the Oleshna lords, too, a cousin of Bernard's and Milota's. Their family affairs are a little complicated. None of my business, of course. My friend, I think you know as well as I, we have to lay siege. It's a perilous undertaking. Who would you send? Well, that's a big if. What if they're seen and they can't raise the portcullis quietly? How have they changed, your grace? What, you're saying Wenceslas invited him here? Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head. Well, so would I must admit. And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly. So he abducted him and your brother Procop too, if I heard correctly. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords. We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas, without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes. Oh, please enlighten us, young sir. I doubt Berghoff would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next. Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft a letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here. When can you set out? Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense. Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way. Well, bearing in mind, Master Butcher, that we have nothing to come to agreement about yet. Well, only if she should find herself with a permanent reminder. Are you trying to blackmail me? Have you forgotten that I am the lord of this town, and that you are nothing but a stinking butcher? Nick, I'll have his balls on a platter! Blasted fool Capon. I'll wring his neck. You can thank your lucky stars you're the only butcher around here. Otherwise I'd have you out on your ear this very day. Here, take this, you damn scoundrel, and never show your face here again. Henry, just the man I want to see. I need help with something. The Archbishop's vicar has come to Uzhitz. I don't know why exactly, but the rumor is that he's on the hunt for heretics, which frankly never meant any good, especially for me. Out with it, Henry. You don't have to apologize. It's the devil's own work to make sense of their twisted hierarchy. The vicar is short for vicarious, meaning in place of. He has full power to act on his superior's behalf. In this case, sadly, the superior in question is that nincompoop Archbishop Zbigniew Hare of Hassenburg. Firstly, find out why he's really here. He might truly be on the hunt for heretics, which wouldn't be good news, or it's equally possible he's here to size up my estate, which would be even worse. The best thing for me and all concerned would be for him to pack his bags and go back to Prague. No, of course not. But if you can make him believe there's nothing to find here, he'll be off in no time. So tell him I've sent you to assist him. Indeed. Good luck, lad, and be careful. Clergymen are wily weasels, so take care. My boy, my boy, have you ever seen a heretic? There, you see. I haven't either. Most of the time the prelates just invent them to scare folk with, so don't put much faith in their existence. But what if there really are some? Then deal with them, but make sure that interfering bastard gets out of here. No, I've never even seen him, but that's no guarantee he doesn't have his eye on my estate. He's an archbishop. They have long fingers, my boy. And now, without the king around, it's the perfect time to amass a nice little hoard. Believe me, I know. All the Hare clan are as shrewd as they come. I know that better than most. They say in Prague that he's a complete dolt, but I rather doubt that. Ha! I can't say I blame you, lad. Well, never mind. I'll just have to find someone else for the job. So you'll have an idea what you're facing. What are you loitering here for? If you want to hunt bandits, you'd better get your ass moving. Better get moving. My men won't wait on you forever. I thought you were so keen to ride to Neuhof. Why are you wasting time here? Well, we'll see, won't we? The king won't stand for it. Well, if not the king, then at least his cousin Jobst. He looks like a man of action. I think when he saw what that red-haired fox was capable of, he realized he was on the wrong side. Well, they can't keep him under lock and key forever. When they release him, he'll set things right. You're his friend, Radzig. He'll see you recompensed for what you've lost, and the skull each mine's one of the silver. So, what word of your castle, Radzig? Shut up and eat, priest. Nobody asked for your opinion. Rumour has it, when he finished his studies at the university where his father sent him, he decided the religious life wasn't for him, and vanished to foreign parts. And then he suddenly came back and settled down here. No doubt it cost his family plenty. They say he made a living as a mercenary. I even heard he fought against a Turk at the Battle of Kosovo. But he's a fair man, and I'm fond of him. There's a lot to be said for a priest with a good understanding of vice. I should say so. Have you ever seen him at swordplay? Not bad for a man of the cloth, is he? I don't have time now, lad. Come and see me in the Knight's Hall at the Upper Castle. And? What did you learn about him? The last thing I need is some kind of witch hunt for heretics. Are we clear? Oh, good Lord. Then you must help him find them, or prove that there are none. But if there really are heretics... Oh, Henry, I fear that vicar's muddled your head. Heretics? Whatever are you talking about? In any case, I don't want any fuss. If you do find them, deal with them somehow, but make sure that's the end of it. Well, the best thing would still be for the vicar to go back to Prague. Jesus! So it seems the vicar didn't come to Uzhitz on a whim. Excellent. Some good news at last. Jesus Christ, what is it now? Oh, well, I suppose I should have known better than to send a blacksmith's boy to outwit a prelate. The main thing is you're alive and well, Henry. Now run along. I have to figure out what to do. Heresy? Pah! I told you what he's investigating. Whether he can grab one of my villagers for that blasted archbishop. The thieving swine. Together with Divish, we can muster enough men. And we can all see there's no time to waste. That bastard wants a battle. Much better we pick a time and place than he does. What's that bastard planning? Finally, a chance to show I'm not carrying a sword just for ornament. Bastard! I'll crush that rabble of his. What? That fucking cunt! I'll skin him alive. That's what I like to hear, Radzig. After everything that's happened, you have even worse news. That's almost impressive. What's being planned, and who's planning it? Spit it out, boy. What do those bastards want? And who the hell are they? Ah, God's holy hat. You never cease to surprise me, lad. But what the fuck is he after? Godspeed, lad. But then again, before we attack, it would be useful to have a spy go and scout out how many of them there are and what they're up to. Then we'll have to attack them before things get out of hand. Ideally, right now when they're not expecting us. Once we catch that mangy little shit, we can ask him nicely what he wants. And under the circumstances, we won't ask how you came to be with that herd of swine at Vranik. So you'd better get out of here quick, before I start thinking about it. Can you tell us how many tents there are and how they're arranged? Oh, excellent. We number at least twice as many. They've no chance, even with their pathetic palisade. We do outnumber them, though, even if only by a few men. And our men are well-armed and disciplined. The foe, nothing but a rabble. Well, that's not much help to us. All the same, there can't be more of them than us. And they might have the palisade, but they're still just a rabble facing trained men. Uproar? That's an excellent strategy. But then I'd expect no less from you. You don't do things by halves, Divish. Archers, fire! Let them fry! Forward! True, but it's not much consolation. If the men don't get something to do soon, I'll have to put them to work in the quarry. Idle hands are the devil's tools. How do you think? That slimy toad has my blood boiling. If I get my hands on him, I'll rip his black heart out. Only I've been handed the job of guarding the western route, at the quarry, and there's not a damn thing happening there. Oh, let's pray our fortunes improve. But I'm a bit worried about that trebuchet. I don't have much experience with engines of war. Even if we do drive Toth out, there might not be much left of the castle after we've done it. Better than it has done so far, I hope. First we lost your lord and father, and then our nighttime assault failed. If the two of you had been left behind, Istvan would have had another pair of hostages. Radzig's a man who knows how to take care of himself. I'm more concerned about Lady Stephanie. It would be dreadful if anything happened to her. Oh, don't worry, he's more used to Toth alive, so he's in no danger for now. Likewise, Henry. I'm just glad there's no black powder in these parts. Given half a chance, he'd blow us all to pieces. He's a foreigner, and quite possibly a madman. Did you hear him talking about those pipes filled with black powder? Amen to that. Losing the trebuchet would have been a disaster, and thank God nothing happened to young Hans. His sister would never have forgiven me. Indeed he did, and I'm proud of him. But if he'd taken them all and led them somewhere else, I'd be a lot happier. But Godwin won't budge once he's made his mind up, except maybe for the bishop. I know, lad. I'm afraid I can't help you. If no one in Uzhitz knows anything, you have even less chance here. We did have some troublemaker from Uzhitz in the pillory here once, but whether it was the fellow you're after... It might be worth having a look at the Rattay Black Chronicle, or ask the scribe. There are those who would tell you everything for a handful of coin or a keg of wine. We have one of those right here in the presbytery. Well, the confessional seal is sacred, and Godwin has his own mind. What? You too? But I don't suppose you're getting visits from the diocese. 200 groschen to the man who brings me Toth's head! All right, make it 300, and I'll skip a meal. Knock that gate down, and let's kick the shit out of that bastard. And remember, 300 groschen for the one who brings me his head. He must have left a trail of some sort. Find it. 100 groschen for anyone who finds something. We're not moving from here until we find out where that piece of shit has gone to. For 300, I want his head, and we won't find that around here now, damn it. Right then, men, search. We need to take a proper look around first. Find any clue about where Toth's gone, and I'll give you 100 groschen. Assemble the men. It'll take speed and strength to outflank them, and that's why the job falls to us, the toughest bastards in the county. Divish is planning to engage them in the ravine at Rovna, draw them in, and let us attack them from the rear. Men, Medica Valdek's reinforcements are about to descend on us. At them! Drive them back! If they get past us, they'll attack the others from the rear. Hold your ground! Now to the trebuchet! Don't let them get near it! Start talking, or make your peace with God. Ah, Henry! Just the man I want. This fool would rather hang than sing. You know more about him than we do, so maybe you can get something out of him. I thought you were much too easy on him, but it seems your approach was the right one. Well done, lad. I'm not surprised that Hungarian horse on Toth fought the Turks. But I can't comprehend their siding with Toth after Toth killed his parents. What kind of twisted bastards are they? You're right. I'm a little worried about their numbers. I hoped there'd be fewer of them. But at least we know what to expect. Anyway, it's clear that young fellow is no ordinary brigand, and he believes Toth cares about him. We'll just have to see if the bastard cares as much about him as Divish does about his wife and you about your father. Speak. Where's Hans? I hope he's not. Bernard agreed. I'm surprised. Well, at least we cut our losses. Although Bernard will have a thing or two to say about how I lost face for a few groschen. I know you meant well, but now it looks like I can't protect my subjects. When word gets out, I won't be able to show my face. Jesus, Henry! Have you any idea what kind of position you have put me in? What? You let that whoreson son off scot-free? After he pillaged at least 3 farms and killed 2 of my men? Not to mention that he crippled some Malota. True enough, lad. No doubt Wolfland will come to a bad end anyway. Well done. It will take Bernard a while to get over his disappointment at not being able to get revenge, but the important thing is we're rid of that troublemaker. Yes, but within reason. What will people say? I can't afford to lose face like that. Especially not now. Good God. Well, I always knew you had balls. So Wolfen is dead. Sometimes more than enough. And Bernard? So that bastard Wolfen's cheated death again. So you succeeded. By God, that's excellent news. Though he probably already has. Crucifix! That fucking whoreson! The devil take him! Really? Well, that's something. Without a leader, that gang of his will surely scatter. Well done, Henry. I'm just worried there won't be much left of Captain Bernard's squad. No, go and get some rest. And I think you deserve to be rewarded for your efforts. I must say, Henry, after all that's happened recently, I'm glad something finally turned out well. Quite so, Margrave. Exactly. You read my thoughts, sir. Very well said, sir. And what they want to do about freeing King Wenceslas, and what they plan to do about the god-awful mess in this country. I couldn't have put it better myself. Oh, what isn't really the issue? The question is how. We need to learn where they stand on liberating the king and ousting Sigismund. If they'll make trouble or join our side, but as I feared. Glad to hear it, Henry. Well, never mind. Go back to Ujits and sort it out somehow. Exactly. So off you go. Are you absolutely sure? Suspect? What are you talking about, Henry? Sweet Jesus. So your suspicions were confirmed. Bugger it. That's all I need. That vicar sniffing around and heretics to boot. Have you spoken with the vicar? Well, you have to tell him. Now. Immediately. Go back to Ujits. Tell the vicar what you know, and see to it that he leaves. And whoever violates that unity is my enemy. It doesn't matter if he violates it by not paying his dues to his liege lord, or by praying in the wrong way. Understand? See what? I'm no master of theology, and I've had my own disputes with the clergy, but I'll tell you one thing. My whole fiefdom, the whole country, the whole of Christendom stands on unity. Don't ever speak that way again. For the love of God, if they're heretics, they belong in the flames. And that is that. No matter. At least it's clear you have a mind of your own. Another man would hurl them onto the fire and not give it a second thought. I don't have the time for a philosophical debate with a blacksmith's boy. Is that clear? What exactly do you mean? Enough! You'll go back. You will tell everything to the vicar. Everything you know about the heretics. And you'll tell Godwin that if he tries to interfere, I will personally come over and burn down the roof over his head. Got it? Well, so am I. But what the fuck is he thinking? Warning them? If anyone found out, we'd all be burned at the stake with them. That Godwin was always a fine one, but this time he's really crossed the line. What's that? Off you go. Now go back to Ujits and report what you saw to the vicar. Oh, it's good that you ask questions, but now is not the right time. You do see that, don't you? To think if anyone else heard you talking like that. God forbid. I've heard some pretty wild rumors from Ujits. So what happened there exactly? Did it confirm your suspicion? Or what about the family you suspected? I hope you reported it all to the vicar, as I commanded. What the hell happened? What is it now, Henry? What? For fuck's sake, what are you trying to tell me? Are you telling me the vicar didn't come to stick his nose in my possessions? Christ, a man doesn't expect that sort of thing in his own fiefdom. Did you catch them? It gives me no pleasure to know he hit on something here. It gives him every excuse to return. But it's certainly good news for the moment. And the vicar's gone with them. Well, I hope he doesn't come back. Well, that's at least something. And the vicar? For fuck's sake, Henry, have you lost your mind? Why the hell did you do that? Warned them? You warned them? Here, Henry. Your prize. You've earned it. You put on a hell of a show, Henry. Here's your hard-earned reward. You did it in the end, Henry. No doubt you're well satisfied. And I'm sure you'll be happy with this prize. Oh, we need this like a hole in the head. We can't stay sitting here much longer. There are hardly any defenders left at Rattay. It might go the same way there as here. Toth has given us a hard enough time already. We should finish it all here and now. Well, at least you're alive. I wouldn't like to have to explain to your mother what happened. Well, lad, feeling any better? I hope you'll be fit and well soon. We're going to need you. This is no joking matter. We need every sword we can muster. So don't lie around here too long. Good work, my boy. True, but at least nothing happened to you. I'd hate to have to explain it to your mother if anything did. Enough! I don't want to hear another word. Run along. I have to send word to Prague about what happened. Fuck it, Henry. I sent you there to sort things out. You should have been more alert. Never mind. Run along now, Henry. I have to figure out what to do about this. Oh, God damn it. I should have anticipated that and sent someone with you. And now get out. I have to figure out what to do with this fucking mess. No, don't even answer that. I wouldn't want to have to lie to the Archbishop's court. Passing brigands, eh? I don't suppose you had anything to do with it, did you? Better get out of my sight, lad. And examine your conscience, you damn fool. Smash them! Push them back! We have to break through, damn it! Try and flank them through the burnt ground! If they get behind us, we'll be done for! Go and face them, some of you! Keep it up! Give them no quarter! That's it! Now, we have another gate here! Where's that blasted ram? Get through this, and we're done! Put your backs into it! That's the way! Charge them! The rats have nowhere to run now! I want that bastard's head! What the devil is this? They're trying to stop us! Charge them quickly! Get them off our backs! Quick! So we don't get there too late, damn it! Trample them underfoot! You're lucky I still have the purse. Here you are. You left it a bit late. I already had the prize money put back in the coffers. But here's some groschen for you at least. You took your sweet time about it. Sorry, but I already gave it as the prize for today's tourney. So if you want it, you'll have to win again. And this time, not forget to pick it up. Congratulations on your victory, Henry. But next time, remember to come for your purse on time. And I'm a man of my word. Here you are. You fought gallantly for it. Anyway, the main prize has already been put away. But here's a bit of coin for you at least. I'll decide what's right and what's not. I hope that's clear to you. What the hell is this? Stop the tournament immediately! Guards! Stop the tournament at once!